Stewie may just be the most beloved character on Family Guy, so today we're going to look at every season and pull our top Stewie episodes. We'll be leaving out season 24 since it's not finished yet, but be sure to check back for our reviews of each of those episodes. And if you enjoy this video, let us know if you want us to cover another character's greatest moments. Now let's start with Death Has a Shadow, the episode that started it all, including Stewie's hatred for Lois.
Mark my words, when you least expect it, your uppance will come.
Big talk for a kid who's probably sitting in his own dookie right now. But here we get to see the extent of Stewie's malice, as he makes multiple attempts to kill his mother in increasingly advanced ways.
What the deuce are you staring at? It's tuna fish. And nothing else.
This episode perfectly laid out everything Stewie was about. His goals sway to the side of evil, his genius isn't to be trifled with, and he's still just a baby at the end of the day. A baby that can kill you, but let's be honest, they're already capable of that without knowing how to build a mind control device.
Let us see how the iron constitution of American justice fares against the device.
And in Chitty Chitty Death Bang, Stewie diverts his murderous intentions to the man in white, the doctor who delivered him, who he believes is returning to put him back in the womb.
The grenades, mace, baggie full of Cheerios.
I always wondered what Stewie's thought process was around why a doctor would try to put him back in the womb. Is he expected to just live in there his whole life? There's no property value to be grown. His credit score would take a major hit. But the only man in white Stewie ends up encountering is actually just a cult leader, so I'd say he gets a free pass to end him.
What the hell is this? It's a boy.
And I Never Met the Dead Man was just chock full of everything that defines Stewie, a childlike misunderstanding of the world meshed with the abilities of an evil tyrant.
Forecast for tomorrow, a few sprinkles of genius with a chance of doom.
So Stewie decides to build a device to control the weather purely to make the planet unstable enough that it can no longer produce broccoli. Obviously, there are some questionable decisions in that plan, mostly because broccoli is easily a top 3 vegetable. Some people go their whole lives without getting it, and that's a real shame.
Excellent. Thus completes the penultimate adjustment to my weather control device.
Yep, he's got all the typical acts of weather at his fingertips. Partly cloudy, pestilence, apocalypse. I wonder if we're gonna see any apocalypse hit the US this year. We didn't get any last year, so I'd say we're due for some. Stewie does succeed at controlling the weather, but like most of his schemes in the series, he ends up coming a little short on world domination.
Oh, damn it! Oh!
And moving on to season 2, we have Road to Rhode Island, Stewie and Brian's first ever adventure together that served as the building blocks of their friendship.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Their unexpected journey home to Quahog is filled with many twists and turns, including stealing a car, hitchhiking in the back of a truck, and finding Brian's dead mom. It's not often you just stumble across a dead family member, but at least Stewie manages to handle the moment with the kind of grace you would expect from a 1-year-old.
Well, I say, someone must have said a funny because your mother's in stitches.
But despite the emotionally taxing trip, Brian and Stewie seem to find a new appreciation for one another, birthing a series of episodes through various places, times, and realities. Truthfully, one of the better outcomes of leaving your baby alone with a dog.
Did you have a nice trip with Brian?
Oh yes, smooth sailing through calm seas.
And Stewie would find his first taste of love in the episode Damn It, Janet, where he falls head over heels for one of his classmates.
Goose! Oh, come on now, I barely touched you. Lily, stop it, stop your boo-hooing.
I see he's skipping right past the honeymoon phase and going straight to the callous alcoholic stage. But Stewie eventually finds his way into Janet's good graces, even if he's the only one idealizing the whole situation.
Whoops, a little bit broke off there. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
But despite feeling like he found his soulmate, Stewie learns that Janet is nothing more than a 2-time infloozy. Some people just aren't satisfied with one cookie, they gotta have a taste of everyone else's cookie. A tough lesson we must all learn one day.
Don't let us see you cry, old man. Don't let us see you cry.
And Stewie would take his malicious teasing of Chris's dieting a bit too far and he's too sexy for his fat, when he starts to look like he's emulating Eric Cartman.
It's too bad you can't have some. It's practically orgasmic. Oh, yes!
Alright, settle down, Sally. I don't think I've tasted a single meatloaf in my life that even managed to bring a smile to my face. So while Chris is cutting back on sweets and fatty foods, that leaves more for Stewie, and the extra calories really start to go to his, well, everything.
The devil are you doing? Stop it! Stop it! I'm getting dizzy! Ah! Boss!
I don't usually condone bullying a baby, but when your baby has the intelligence and skills of Dr. Robotnik, I'd say it's probably good to bring that self-esteem down a few notches.
Damn you, ice cream! Come to my mouth. How dare you disobey me?
And moving on to season 3, we see Stewie's character further expand with episodes like A Mission Impossible, where he tries to prevent Peter and Lois from having another baby.
This is Stewie country, and I intend to keep it that way.
And he pulls out all the stops, building robots and ships that can shrink down to microscopic levels. Honestly, he should have just committed to continuing to cry and poop his pants. Nothing gets you out of the mood for having another kid like being reminded of the one you already have.
I saw the book. Plus, what the devil is that name again? Boogeyman.
But when he decides to kill off Peter's baby-making abilities at the source, he meets Bertram, a potential future brother who could actually be good for Stewie to have.
You hate Lois? I hate Lois too.
Nothing brings siblings together like mutual hate for their parents. It's just too bad this world is only big enough for one football-headed child maniac. And Stewie would dip his toes in the pool of love once again when his rivalry with child actor Olivia turns into a budding romance in From Method to Madness.
God, what a clever, smart girl you must be. To come up with a joke like that all by yourself.
You really can't truly love someone until you hate them a little, I think. You know, that might explain my dating track record. But the two find themselves to be terrific musical partners for one another, though the glitz and glamour of showbiz ends up claiming yet another relationship.
You've done nothing but hold me back! I quit!
The only thing I've held you back from is failure.
It's not a lifestyle everyone can handle, and Stewie ends up going through the whole process of a fall from grace in just a matter of days. Well, there's always his day job, trying to color inside the lines in his coloring book.
Take care of yourself.
See you on the coast.
And Stewie would find himself in hosting duties alongside Brian in Family Guy Viewer Mail number 1, a meta episode that takes viewer-submitted ideas and brings them to life.
Many of you have written to the show with suggestions for episodes you'd like to see.
They're mostly god-awful.
If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. A lot of people are trying to do it, but Sora-generated videos just aren't quite as respectable. But Stewie's most memorable role in this episode comes when he ends up getting splashed with radioactive waste, giving him an even weirder head shape.
How delightful! This toxic stew seems to have given me telekinetic abilities.
Well, he's no Professor X. Heck, he's not even Mindworm. But a baby with that size brain isn't to be trifled with. You just gotta wait for the very obvious tumor to run its course and kill him.
Oh God, please help me!
And moseying on into season 4, we see Stewie try to win the heart of his new babysitter in 8 Simple Rules for Buying My Teenage Daughter, only to turn violent when he learns she's already taken.
Well, this here? Oh, it's just my package. Yeah, just my package. God delivered it. I signed for it.
I would hope you kept the receipt on that, because most packages aren't supposed to be as lumpy and misshapen as that one. But Stewie's in for a rude awakening when he learns that his babysitter is much more interested in guys her own age.
All right, that's it. Jeremy must be destroyed.
Despite his efforts, Stewie and his babysitter just aren't meant to be. Hopefully Jeremy can understand that this was all done as a crime of passion.
Oh my God, Jeremy's still in the trunk. Oh God, how long's it been? Let's see, two weeks.
And the courtship of Stewie's father would see the rare pairing of Stewie and Peter as they bond over their shared joy of hurting Lois.
Stewie's loving this. See if she's got any cash on her.
Do they have child protective services but for wives? Someone might want to give them a call, because this father-son duo may not stop until Lois is dead.
Oh, there is nothing more precious than a baby's laughter.
Eventually, Lois gets them to rein it in, but Peter and Stewie still manage to have some fun going to Disney World and killing Michael Eisner. Don't feel bad for him. This is how they phase all CEOs out of Disney eventually.
Oh, what the hell?
I love you too, buddy.
And season 4 even gave us an entire TV movie revolving around Stewie and Stewie Griffin: The Untold Story, where we see him go good after a near-death experience.
I've just got to accept the fact that I'm an angry boy who'll occasionally try to burn down a house or toss a poisoned dart at his mother.
Hey, we've all been there at one point in our lives. You just gotta grow out of those murderous tendencies, as we do with wearing diapers or thinking Crocs are appropriate footwear. But things get interesting when Stewie sees a man on TV that he believes to be his real father, so he travels all the way to California to find him.
You've got it all wrong, Stewie.
Stewie? How do you know my name?
Because I'm not your father. I'm you.
Unfortunately, that's the worst possible outcome. It looks like his aspirations for greatness went away, along with his hairline. This is Stewie from the future, created by Stewie's near-death experience, changing him into a spineless man. Stewie manages to change the timeline to save him from this future, and somehow that's probably for the best. I'll take an evil genius over this wet napkin any day.
That's never happened to me before.
Which part? The 8 seconds of sex or the 40 minutes of crying?
And season 5's Barely Legal graced us with one of Stewie's greatest contributions to the English language ever.
Ooh, let me have some of that Cool Whip.
What'd you say?
You can't have a pie without Cool Whip.
And you can't say that word normally ever again thanks to Stewie. He really created quite the linguistic phenomenon with this moment, and like a plague, it quickly spread all over the world, even to other characters in the show.
Brian, you're acting weird.
Oh, come on, that one doesn't even have an H in it.
And Stewie would reignite his relationship with Olivia in chick cancer, going as far as getting pretend married.
I, Stewie, take you, Olivia, to be my lawfully wedded wife.
They grow up so fast. One minute you're soiling your diaper, the next you're married. I wouldn't be surprised if those two events were literally a minute apart. But as Stewie learns, marriage isn't always what it's cracked up to be.
We have yet to have
Do you even know what is?
That's not the point. Don't change it. It's a kind of cake.
Well, both can be quite damaging to the hips, but for very different reasons. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a law that makes it legal to divorce from a pretend marriage, so Stewie breaks things off the old-fashioned way.
Cheating wife and Papa's ass burned alive.
And Stewie would start to lean into his more stylish side when he gives himself a tan in the Tan Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
What do you think of my recumbent tan pose? Legs probably spread a little wider than they ought to be, but who gives a damn?
You get your skin damaged by the sun one time and suddenly you think you're all that. Of course, there's punishment for flying a little too close to the sun. Or, you know, the UV rays that are meant to mimic the sun.
I was just coming to tell you, it's time to get out.
I've been in there for 6.5 hours, you son of a... Don't touch me!
Maybe he'll get lucky and having hot dog skin will become the new norm. If Hulk Hogan can make it work, maybe Stewie can too. And of course, Season 6 is home to Stewie's greatest achievement in the episode Stewie Kills Lois. Take a wild guess what happens in this one.
What are you doing with a gun?
Something I should have done a very long time ago.
So Stewie succeeds in his lifelong goal of killing Lois, or so he thinks. It seemed like it was rather easy to pull off. Why didn't he just go with a gun from the beginning? I guess theatricality outweighs practicality in his mind. But to his surprise, Lois is actually still alive and ends up naming her baby the attempted murderer.
It was Stewie!
And that leads into the following episode, Lois Kills Stewie, where Stewie goes full-on evil genius to terrorize the family.
How long you been all messed up and evil like this?
Oh, so now you're interested in Stewie?
I mean, yeah. You ever tried talking to the average baby? They've got nothing interesting going on. Now this is something worth investing in. But Stewie isn't giving up on his aspirations, as he actually manages to hold the world hostage and become its new king.
I want you to hear my presidential address for St. Rupert's Day. I'm unveiling all the new laws I've passed.
Not the first time the White House had a toddler as its leader, and it probably won't be the last. But Lois can't stand to watch her child ruin the world, so she decides to do what the title of the episode suggests.
I will not stand by while you make innocent people suffer.
Bring it on,
The whole thing just ends up being a simulation, but it still gave us a super solid payoff to a character who's been on the cusp of madness for several seasons, only finally being allowed totally off the leash in order to finish what he started. But on the lighter side, Stewie would get into some renovation hijinks with Brian and Peter's daughter when the two buy a fixer-upper together.
All right, here's your hammer, here's your walkie, and here's your stud finder. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, well, it's working.
It's funny because the crumbling house they're in is emblematic of Brian's crumbling patience for Stewie. No one takes walkie-talkie etiquette seriously, but with someone like Stewie, I can understand why.
Oh, I see the wire.
You see the wire what? Over.
They always say don't live in the same house as your friends, and definitely don't try to build a house with them either. But collecting the insurance payout together? Now that's pretty cool.
We're gonna want to be leaving now.
Why?
Because I just emptied a full tank of gasoline and lit a match. We've got about 5 seconds.
And Season 7 has perhaps one of Stewie's best standalone episodes, Baby Not On Board, where he's accidentally home alone and gets into all sorts of trouble.
I finally get to see what of a looks.
Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
He must have seen all the ads they put in there now. Playboy just isn't the same. But when supplies start to run dry while his family's gone, Stewie realizes it's time for him to man up and get a job.
Stewie, you've got to clean the bathroom.
No, I'm not going back in there!
Stewie, I'm not giving you a choice.
But everybody has a choice, especially when it comes to cleaning up turd tsunamis. I would have been out of there in a second with the clock still running. But this whole ordeal at least gets Stewie to realize how much his family means to him, which is pretty sweet to see.
I promise with all my heart that I'll never say or do anything bad to you for the rest of the evening.
And Stewie would realize how much the phrase never meet your heroes rings true when he spends a full day with the cast of Star Trek and Not All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Let's spend the day together.
Hey, that sounds like fun. Ow!
Shut up, Will.
Stop it, Patrick.
I think Stewie envisioned this day as more like his wildest dreams coming true and less like having to babysit a handful of adult children. Something about being in Hollywood just smooths your brain over, I guess.
How do you want to do the teams?
How about the white guys against the black guys?
Patrick, don't be an instigator.
The whole thing pretty much crushes whatever love Stewie had for the show in a matter of hours. Now, if he had done this with the cast of Star Wars, everybody probably would have been dead within the first hour.
I hope you all die.
And Stewie would go through a full makeover when Peter decides to inject him with steroids and steroids, turning him into a true hulking douche.
Doesn't matter how you find the pot of gold, be to the Ryan. All that matters is that you beat the leprechauns.
Some guy on Twitter with a Greek statue as his profile picture could probably tweet this and get killer interactions. And now that he's jacked to the max, Stewie starts to throw his weight around the house a little bit more.
Oh, there's a toll in the hole now. $10.
Look, can I...
Oh.
I just... Stewie!
But that disgustingly swole body doesn't last forever, and Stewie ends up finding that out the hard way. I guess skydiving could always be his next hobby.
Your steroids have worn off. You're weak like everyone else. And guess what? There's a toll in the hall now.
And Season 8 has to be one of the greatest seasons for Stewie in the show's run, as it's jam-packed with memorable moments like in Road to the Multiverse.
Are those fists?
Damn right, show 'em, pig.
This whole episode revolves around Stewie and Brian hopping through the multiverse, leading to a bunch of funny scenarios for the two to find themselves in.
Love it.
Hate it.
Love it.
Hate it.
This episode has some of the series' most iconic visuals and setups, and we can thank Stewie for not knowing how his tech works. If he did, this whole episode probably would have just taken place in that rainbow shirtless universe.
Did you have the shuffle button on? Oh my god. There you go.
And Stewie would live as a fake self to live as his true self in Go Stewie Go, where he pretends to be a female actress.
Oh my god, my cousin works in Times Square.
Well, your cousin is fine because I was acting!
Man, he's really stealing Roger's whole bit, isn't he? But things start to get complicated when Stewie catches feelings for one of his co-stars, though she doesn't return the feelings.
If only you were a boy.
But I am a boy.
So the only thing Stewie can do now is come out with the truth live on camera. Okay, he probably had other options outside of doing something that would get the show canceled.
I'm Desmond Sunflower! Desmond Sunflower! And I'm a boy!
But Stewie isn't the only celebrity with something to hide, which he quickly learns when he becomes good friends with Miley Cyrus and Hannah Banana.
I'm just writing some new lyrics.
Oh, you write your own lyrics?
Yeah.
So do I.
He's really living the dream of every young girl from the 2000s. Spiritually, Stewie is always identified as a mid-2000s girl. But as Stewie gets closer to Miley, he discovers her shocking secret.
Oh my god! She's an android!
Well, I guess that's better than her being an iPhone. Always copying Android's features years after they introduce them. And when Stewie tries to reprogram her, he ends up sending her into a total meltdown. She's skipping some of the most important parts of a celebrity breakdown, like shaving her hair and attacking paparazzi.
Hang on, maybe I can fix this.
And with Season 9, we have one of the show's greatest Christmas episodes in Road to the North Pole, where Stewie plans to give Santa a piece of his mind.
Why the hell do you want to kill Santa?
Because that fat blew me off at the mall, and he shall not go unpunished.
And if you can't put your faith in Santa, who can you put your faith in? The government's not going to put presents under your tree. So Stewie drags Brian along on a fantastical journey to the North Pole, complete with snowmobiles, North Stars, and causing the usual amount of traffic fatalities.
What the hell happened?
Just some stupid stuff went down.
I'm sure they'll cite that in the obituaries for all those people's deaths. Killed by stupid stuff. That's how I want to go. But when they make it to the North Pole, they find Santa all too willing to go through with Stewie's plan.
I'm Stewie Griffin, and I'm going to kill you!
Oh, thank God.
The holidays do be making you feel that kind of way sometimes. But Stewie eventually brings the Christmas spirit back to the world by helping everyone see the true reason for the season. It does take murdering a family to get there, but what's Christmas time without a few casualties?
Do you have a brother? Well, then who the hell is John? Oh my god, we're in the wrong house.
But Stewie would make up for it by literally creating the whole universe in the episode The Big Bang Theory.
We've somehow been transported outside the space-time continuum.
So after that happens, Stewie manages to create an explosion that propels them into the future, inadvertently creating the universe in the process. How do you even begin to list that on a resume?
The universe created me, so I could create it, so it could create me, and so on.
Well, aren't you just the most special boy who ever lived? Most kids think that anyway, but this kid might be the only one with credentials to back it up. But what follows from here is a trip into the past, as Stewie's half-brother Bertram tries to erase his ancestors, thus erasing Stewie and thus potentially erasing the entire universe.
So if you kill me, you're killing yourself and everything else that ever existed or will exist!
Worth it!
That's the kind of true hater energy Stewie's just been missing in his life as of late. This episode reaffirms the genius of Stewie, tying it to the literal survival of the universe as if he weren't already impressive enough. Hate to say it, but you peaked, man. I don't see it getting any better than this, unfortunately.
Stewie can't hear you. He's not awake. Only a kiss will wake him up.
But Season 10 has episodes like Killer Queen, which knocks Stewie down a peg by having him be terrified of an old album cover.
Check it out. Whoa, what's the matter?
What the hell is that?
In his defense, that robot's a little less Iron Giant and a little more of that creepy robot from that old internet video. But Brian decides to have a little fun with this realization, terrorizing Stewie with it throughout the episode.
Oh, what was I worried about? Oh God!
Brian should have known better and realized that kids think everything is real, and Stewie's gonna take his own way out before the robot gets him.
See you on the other side. Oh my God! Stewie, no!
But the robot's actually pretty chill when you get to talk to him. He's still a murderer, but so is Stewie, so at least they have that common ground to fall on. And Stewie would once again find love in Mr. and Mrs. Stewie when he meets his match in Penelope, a little girl who may just be more deranged than him.
Did you kill her?
Well, I held the knife. And her hair.
She makes matricide sound so easy. Stewie just might not have that dog in him. But while the two enjoy causing absolute mayhem together, there's another dog that Penelope would rather Stewie didn't have.
Kill him. Kill Brian for me.
If you ever get in a relationship and your significant other says it's either them or the dog, just remember who is by your side through the ups and downs. So Stewie decides to respect the bro code and refuses to kill Brian, which means he's got to cut things off with Penelope before she cuts any of his things off.
Stay away from my dog.
Very well, Stewie, I shall.
It is a shame things had to end this way, as Penelope was a great foil to Stewie, but it's clear she's far more serious about the gangster lifestyle than Stewie is. Oh well, this will serve as a good life experience that he'll look forward to talking about in therapy years from now.
That was beautiful. I'm gonna tell my friends I banged her.
And season 11 would see Stewie go through the ringer with episodes like Yug Yillamaf, where he accidentally makes time flow backwards.
I think you're getting a diaper change.
Ah, get that poop-filled thing away from me!
And suddenly, the reversal of the flow of time doesn't sound as fun anymore. I think I'd be a-okay going my whole life not knowing what pooping in reverse is like. But things get even worse when time starts to accelerate as well, rapidly bringing Stewie into past events he'd probably rather forget.
Dear God, I'm unteething!
And since Stewie is rapidly aging backwards, there's only one place left for him to go. Hopefully he's able to adjust to the lack of square footage in his old digs.
No!
Sounds like a nightmare, but it's kind of funny from the outside looking in. I know I don't have to worry about that happening to me. I don't think clams even have one of those, you know. But Stewie would meet an even more unfortunate end in Road to Vegas. But it's fine, there's always another one to tag in.
You know, this is going to be a good trip, Brian. I really feel like fate is on our side.
So when Stewie attempts to teleport him and Brian to Vegas, he ends up creating separate copies of the two who manage to live it up in Sin City. They should be kicking Stewie out of these casinos, but when a baby is winning as much as he does, you gotta let the rules slide just this once. But how are the other Brian and Stewie doing?
I may have gambled away our plane tickets. You what? How do you even do that?
With the drive to be a winner, Brian, something you clearly don't have. Neither does Stewie from the looks of it. So with no money, no way home, and loan sharks hunting them down, Stewie's in quite a pickle. It's just too bad his clone looks exactly like him.
Kill him! He's a baby! He won't even remember he was alive!
You son of a b****.
Ah!
Don't worry, Stewie gets back at Brian in a cosmic sort of way by having the other one jump off a balcony. And all is right in the universe once again.
I'm sorry, I can't! I want to live! I didn't really think we were gonna do it!
And Stewie would get a little philosophical in season 12 with Mom's the Word, where he looks to every religion for answers when he starts to fear death.
Stewie, everyone is gonna die at some point. Everyone.
So, like, even me?
Especially you. You're gonna die harder than anyone's ever died someday. Wear it as a badge of honor. But of course, Stewie grows to become afraid of death, so Brian lays out pretty plainly what he believes happens when we die.
We come from nothing, and we're gonna become nothing. The end. Night, Stewie. Lights out.
Jeez, man, you have to at least mix that lesson in with a fairy tale if you're gonna tell a baby that right before bed. So Stewie decides to go out on his own terms, but after many failed attempts, it becomes clear the universe has other ideas for him.
Oh damn, I wanted to die, not turn into Toaster Man.
Well, somebody's gotta be Toaster Man. Better to just roll with it now before the cancer given to you by the toaster kills you. And in a similar vein, Chap Stewie would see Stewie erasing his birth to be born into a family that better fits his sensibilities.
I've been reborn!
Welcome to the world, baby chap.
I'm British?
Finally, no more LARPing like one. I don't know if there's a word for a British otaku, but Stewie is definitely that. So Stewie begins to settle into his new life, complete with a manor, a butler, and a family that either hates him or wants nothing to do with him.
Why isn't Mommy tucking me in?
Oh, hush, love. You're born now. That's the end of all this mummy nonsense.
Stewie has even more of a reason to kill his mom than before, but instead he's sad? I guess being the smartest one in a family of idiots is better than being the black sheep of a successful family. But all he's got to do is go back in time, fix the past, and peacefully fade from existence as the old timeline is restored.
I'm choking on my own blood! Call someone, please!
Well, again, it was great knowing you.
Yeah!
And season 13 would kick off with a bang with the Simpsons guy, where Stewie got to spend some time with Bart Simpson.
So, I'm only wearing this diaper as a dare. It's not like an everyday thing.
So while Bart teaches Stewie how to be hip and cool for the 90s, Stewie decides to repay him by changing his life in other ways. Ways that make children endure the tortures of Guantanamo Bay, but his intentions are good.
I could eat. Good, because you're going to eat my shorts.
And those things had just been brewing in the hot sun alongside that diaper. This has moved beyond torture and has now entered the realm of chemical warfare. Obviously, this kind of freaks Bart out, who cuts off contact with the crazy baby.
Stewie, I don't think we can be friends. You freak me out.
But if we don't keep in touch, I'll myself.
Don't worry, Stewie, you'll still see him around, like at the Emmys when he and his family win the awards your family is still trying so hard to win. And Stewie would transform himself in this little piggy when he decides to take a gap year from preschool to experience adult life.
I've also been working on my banter, like in case somebody bumps into me. Oh, no worries, bro.
So in order to experience the carefree world of adulthood, Brian decides to take Stewie to a music festival. You'll see the entire spectrum of life in those things. It's both disturbing and oddly beautiful.
Just give it a little test tap, see where she's at, then you're pushing all up on that fanny.
Whoa, Stewie.
Yeah, whoa.
And nothing rings in your entrance to adulthood like agreeing to a three-way with a random girl and your bro. Stay young, kids, because after you go this far, that's all your life will be. You'll never look at a pineapple the same way again.
Ah! What's happening?
But Stewie will not be scarred by this today. Instead, he'll be scarred by watching the woman suddenly die from an overdose. Oh well, you'll get him next time, champ.
Also, I loaned you $40 for that Lumineers t-shirt, and you said you'd pay me back, so I'm gonna take your bra.
And Stewie would have a more childlike experience in Season 14's Pilling Them Softly, where he gets absolutely zonked on ADHD medication.
Let me get up and greet you. There we go. How you doing?
So after Stewie gets prescribed ADHD medication, he spends the entire episode pretty much on a whole different planet. At least he's managed to bring back some enlightening insights from his otherworldly journeys.
Okay, time for an eyes open nap.
So true, bestie. While these pills probably aren't great for Stewie in the long term, they're at least giving him a moment to just approach the world with eyes wide open. Eyes wide open.
It's then illegal?
What?
Hello?
But we'd get to see the crazy things that go on in Stewie's head and a lot going on upstairs when Brian tries to help Stewie get over his nightmares.
Damn it! Why can't I move?
So Stewie keeps having recurring nightmares involving a monster and thinks that his best bet is to just stop sleeping. Sounds like he's getting on that TikTok grind set. He'll be dunking his head in sparkling water in no time. But when that doesn't work, he builds a machine to allow Brian to enter his dreams and help him conquer his fears.
I want you to come inside me while I'm asleep.
Don't say it like that.
He knew exactly how he was phrasing it too, he just didn't care. Maybe the monster represents normalcy and he's running away from not fantasizing about his dog. But Brian does help him defeat the monster, realizing it was a manifestation of Brian's opinion of Stewie. I probably wouldn't take the opinion of someone who licks their own crotch to heart, but it does show how much Brian means to Stewie.
I know I'm always busting your balls, but it's just because you're the only person in this house whose judgment actually matters to me.
And Stewie would team up with Brian once again in Season 15's The Boys in the Band to dominate the children's music game.
No more rainbows and unicorns. Real baby issues.
Right, like Heartworm and Parvo?
No, baby stuff.
Hey, Brian's got a point. With how much crap babies eat off the ground, we might as well start wrapping them in heartworm treatment. But when they go to perform at their first gig, Stewie runs into his old flame, Olivia.
Olivia? Oh my god, do I look okay? I hate this shirt. Switch shirts! Switch shirts!
I think he should be a little less worried about how he looks and a little more worried about catching an attempted murder charge for that house burning he did 10 seasons ago. But Stewie and Olivia actually seem to rekindle their relationship.
Oh, Olivia's president of our fan club. She's also doing half the band.
Do you even know what that means?
And which half is he talking about anyway? You know what? Doesn't matter. The FBI needs to shut this down anyway. But it's all just a ploy by Olivia to steal Brian away from Stewie, but nothing can shatter the bond of a boy and his dog / symbolic father figure.
I guess she manipulated both of us. There's just something about her flat chest and muscular legs.
But Stewie would experience a different kind of hurt in the dating game when he had to wear a brace to hold up that big head of his.
I'm really hurt. I must have jacked it up playing sports and not trying to dance like Beyoncé.
There are some things just not meant for mortal men, and whatever witchcraft Beyonce possesses is one of them. But while a brace isn't the most flattering thing, it does earn him some pity points, which can be exchanged for some social prizes.
If I could just find someone to wear this hero hat. I think I found him.
Hey, if you're a hero just for having bad posture, then I feel like I'm due like 7 purple hearts. So Stewie wears the brace longer than he's meant to, which results in him completely atrophying his neck. Well, it's a good thing he liked the brace so much, because now he gets to look like an escapee from one of the traps in Saw for the next few years.
I wore that brace for the next 5 years of my life. The kids stopped cheering the second day.
And in season 16, Stewie would become enamored with his new nanny and nanny goats, who ends up saving him from foreign assassins.
Next book. Everybody poops. Blood.
Admittedly, it takes some time for him to warm up to her. Her Eastern European coldness is the equivalent of getting tucked in by a slab of concrete.
Natalia, will you be our nanny forever?
Da, unless Belarus security force track me down.
Turns out the two of them have something in common. They're very good at killing people. If Stewie were just a few years older, he'd probably propose to Natalia after seeing all this carnage.
Count to 3 and pull cord.
Ah! I don't know my number!
And Stewie would reimagine himself as Sherlock Holmes in V is for Mystery to find a killer in old London.
I'm getting married.
I deduced, Watson, that you're getting married.
I just said that.
Yes, but I had deduced it first. That's what happened.
It's more convincing than whatever that Mind Palace nonsense was in that Sherlock show. And now on the brink of retirement, Sherlock is faced with a new, seemingly impossible crime that can only be solved with his unorthodox skills.
It's cutting-edge technology, Watson!
Exchange money for sexual services, Governor.
The mind of a genius is a hard thing to fathom, so I'm just not gonna bother. He wants to dress up as a robot lady of the night? Who am I to question?
And I was able to fool you, as I am a master of disguise.
Seems like you're just good at dressing up like a woman.
And Stewie would finally make a friend that brings him out of his shell in season 17's Pal Stewie, but one rejection later and he's back to his usual self.
Can I come over for a play date?
Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
So Stewie befriends a boy named Hudson, and they seem to hit it off pretty well until Stewie doesn't get invited to Hudson's birthday party. It's tough realizing you're the pity friend. I wouldn't know, obviously. I have so many friends that I literally don't hang out with any of them because it wouldn't be fair to the rest of them.
There's something I gotta do.
Go get him, Tiger.
Hey, shut your mouth.
And so Stewie breaks out some of his weapons to get revenge on Hudson, only to realize he was invited. Brian just hid the invite from him. Oh well, sometimes people make mistakes. And sometimes you turn a child's birthday party into an active war zone. These things do happen.
Stewie?
That's my name, don't wear it out. Yeah, let that wash over you.
And season 18 sees Stewie learning he's earned participation trophies all his life and absolutely babulous, which he does not take well.
This is a wall of lies! And that's a hole of lies! Everything I've ever won is worthless!
He should have known something was up when the hole led to the outside and was 2 floors up. Is Paul Bunyan supposed to be using that thing? So Stewie ends up entering a pie making contest, assured he can win on his own merits rather than getting a pity trophy.
This is mud! Yes, it's a mud pie. I use Legos for the fruit.
Yet another attempt by vegans to infiltrate the dessert world. If my dessert doesn't come from the scrambling of a few chicken embryos, then I don't want it. So Stewie puts in the work, practices his craft, makes a real pie, and gets 5th place. But he worked for it, so that's the real victory. Whatever helps his self-esteem not implode, I guess.
My god! I did it!
No, Stewie. You did it. Oh, wait, sorry, I thought you said we did it.
And Stewie nearly rings in the future apocalypse in season 19's P-Terminator when a robot he designed comes to kill him.
Why'd you make 2 versions? Naked or all in leather?
Brian, I don't expect you to be able to understand all the science stuff.
Seems more like a kink thing to me, but hey, I'm no scientist. I must have fallen asleep during that lesson in science class. So the P-Terminator comes to kill him, forcing Stewie and Brian into hiding.
This has been quite a day. I am ready to hit the sack.
Yeah, I guess if they're gonna die at the hands of a killer robot, now's the time to make your move. But it turns out their love for one another is the key to fixing the future. They just need to show the universe how good friends they are. Maybe with a little bit of tongue.
How much longer? Sorry, didn't realize it was such a chore.
And season 20 sees Stewie contracting the deadly disease known as cooties in Cootie and the Blowhard.
I don't have any affairs, I'm one!
Well, then you're ready to die.
So after receiving his totally legitimate diagnosis, Stewie realizes it's time to get his affairs in order before he passes.
Everything I have and own is being left to Rupert in a trust for when he gets sober.
Something tells me Rupert drinks just to tolerate Stewie, so that won't be much of a problem. I might be overanalyzing the relationship between a boy and his teddy bear, but Stewie thinks he's dying, so it fits. In fact, he thinks he's dying so much that he decides to go out on his own terms.
So I've decided to take a bus to Vermont to have physician-assisted...
What?
He needs to hold on just a little while longer. I know we're on the cusp of a cooties breakthrough soon. It better be at least. I've run so many 5Ks raising money for the disease. Luckily, Brian talks him out of the euthanasia, so we're all good.
Do you have an email address for our mailing list?
No thanks, I'm about to myself.
And Family Guy would celebrate its 400th episode in Season 21's Get Stewie, where Stewie gets cancelled for an erroneous tweet.
Time to immortalize this moment with a photo, because pictures at concerts always turn out great.
So after a pop star takes Stewie's tweet to her the wrong way, she sicks her millions of fans on him to cancel him online and in real life. Which isn't much of a punishment. We tried canceling Stalin and he still did all that stuff. But the fans do a bit more than cancel him.
They killed him! He blew up!
And he got off easy. I'd rather explode into a million pieces than have to read bad online comments about myself. So, keep that comment section pleasant, why don't you? Luckily, Stewie comes out on the other side with a little roasting of hostile fans.
And shame on all of you for blindly following everything she says. When did celebrity effectively become the new religion?
Probably around the time that guy was raising the dead and turning water into wine. He was probably the coolest guy in town for that brief moment in time. And Season 22 would give us 2 Stewies, with Boston Stewie, where Stewie attempts to help his half-brother get adopted.
How come your house ain't attached to 2 other houses on either side? There could be just one house?
I guess.
It's so cute to see someone take in the wonders of modern America when they come from faraway lands like Boston. Unfortunately, this brother might be a tad too prickly to get adopted, unless you really need a baby that doubles as a trash compactor.
A, ass wipe.
Okay, close. How about this one?
B, bad.
Look, if that's the way he's gonna remember the alphabet, then it's probably best to just let him say a few swears and slurs. And Stewie eventually realizes that he doesn't need to change his brother, he just needs to find someone who's a perfect fit for him.
Have a great life with your 7 moms!
Well, 1 of them will be my mom. 6 of them will be my girlfriend.
Ah, Boston, you beautiful, mystical nightmare land. And Season 23 would take Stewie to China in China Doll when he tries to help Rupert reconnect with his country of origin.
Good morning, Brian. Or rather, ni hao.
So after Stewie discovers that Rupert was made in China, he becomes obsessed with returning him to his roots. I think he just wants to say he's in a multiracial relationship for online brownie points. But they end up traveling to China, and Stewie even finds Rupert's quote-unquote parents.
Which one of you 2 hogs the blankets? Who does Rupert get that from? Look at Pop-Pop's face. Busted!
This might be the last thing you want to come home to after a 16-hour factory shift for $1 an hour. They're probably disappointed that Rupert brought home a narcissist like Stewie. But their visit ends up getting cut short when the Chinese government arrests them over suspicion of espionage, forcing them to escape by selling someone out.
Sorry, Chris, when you download TikTok, one of the terms and conditions is that the Chinese government can just arrest you whenever.
But what season do you think has the greatest Stewie moments? Let us know down in the comments, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more.